Hey everyone, it's Michael. I hope you're doing well today. I have a video here to talk about a trailer that dropped a few days ago. Star Wars Maul Shadow Lord. This is about Darth Maul. And as many of you know, I'm not like a defender of Maul's execution in Phantom Menace. He looked cool, he was fun, lightsaber fights were great. But he really came into fruition as a character, apparently in the books, and then the Clone Wars show, obviously, when they brought him back to life or said that he was actually alive the whole time, which was awesome. I love what they did with him in Clone Wars, and I'm glad that Darth Maul was actually still alive. Over the years, they've tried to do more with him, especially since Disney bought Star Wars. They put him in Rebels, which was okay, those moments that I saw him in. I think it was in season 2 or 3, something like that. But then he'll show up in other things. Like they had Ray Park, who apparently had this big controversy that got the live action show about Maul canceled that we were going to get. I didn't know it was canceled. I thought just because Solo did bad, I thought they were just kind of putting it off the back burner for now. But I didn't know it was canceled per se. But this seems to be the fruition of those scripts, but it's animated with Clone Wars type of style art, Rebels type of style art, but a lot more. I don't know, it seems like it's a lot darker of a show. I mean, it seems like it's going to be pretty Clone Wars in the sense of people getting limbs cut off. At one point, Maul is fighting, I think, a stormtrooper or something, and chops his legs off. I was like, what? And then he stabbed him in the throat? Like, dude, this seems like it's going to be straight out Maul. It's going to be everything kids my age back in the day, in the prequel era, loved about Star Wars. Lightsabers could cut off limbs and stuff, and ever since Disney bought Star Wars, everything from Rebels to the sequel trilogy, as many of you know, they didn't do that. A lightsaber would just bounce off of you. If it hit you in the spine, you could walk it off after a day or two. And I don't like that. No one liked that. It was a way of almost childishly ruining lightsabers more than ever, to be honest. Now, I haven't read a lot of the Darth Maul books, so I don't know how much influence this takes from those other novels, from the Legacy or Legends canon. It doesn't seem like it's taking a lot of influence, let's say, from the Darth Maul comics that Disney put out a few years back that I read back in the day when it first came out. But it kind of doesn't matter because I like Maul so much as a character. I'm such a big fan of this character that I'm excited to see what they do, and it seems like the reception is fantastic so far for what this show is trying to do. I'm really excited about that, to be honest with you. I'm glad that we're getting to a place, even though this was technically, under the production of Kathleen Kennedy, it has to be, this seems more like the kind of Filoni stuff that I'm hoping more for in the future, with movies, with cartoons, with books, hopefully, with comics, hopefully, for God's sake. This is more of what I want from Star Wars. Even if we got like an Obi-Wan season 2, I would be okay as long as it wasn't dedicated to characters who aren't Obi-Wan and Anakin, or Darth Vader, whatever he's supposed to be in that season. This is the kind of thing that I want Filoni to do, and it's my proof of why Filoni is such a big deal to me, and why I think it's a big deal he took over the presidency at Lucasfilm now. Doesn't mean he's going to be perfect. I could be eating my words soon. But this is why I'm excited for this. This is why I'm excited for him. Even down to the fact that they don't just have Maul carrying around a one half of his lightsaber since Phantom Menace and since the Clone Wars return. He adds on this one side to his lightsaber that also allows it to be a double-bladed lightsaber again. And that other new attachment to his regular lightsaber looks like one of the lightsabers you can choose from in Jedi Academy, the old game back in the day. I noticed that. Does anybody else think it looks pretty similar? If you played the game, you know which one I'm talking about on the hilt choices you got. That's going to be cool, and I hope this show gets us a lot of toys and stuff that are cheaper. If Filoni was smart, he'd follow James Gunn's idea with the Superman movie and make cheaper toys, make figures that are like $7 and $8. And Star Wars has kind of been doing that, and I like those. I buy those figures. I refuse to pay $30 for these, these... What is it, Black Series? Is that what they're called? I'm not paying that for those. That's crazy. Nobody can afford that now. And I can't afford it, but I'm not paying for it. I hope we get some new toys out of this, because Darth Maul looks cool in here with the cloak on. There's another guy that I think people said was from the Ahsoka show. I haven't seen that, But I saw this character that Darth Maul is fighting here, who also has like an Inquisitor spinny double-bladed lightsaber. I don't know if he's an Inquisitor or not sure. But I heard people say that this same character fought Ahsoka or somebody in one of the live-action shows. And I think it's even Sam Witwer, who plays both Maul and this character, if I remember correctly. Because I remember a lot of the fan theories about this character that Maul's fighting from that other show, whatever it was. So there's a lot of discussion on who that is, if it's going to be Darth Talon. The one thing I'm kind of put off with, and this may be better because this seems like more of what the Solo movie teased when Ray Park played Darth Maul at the end of the movie. It seems to me they're hinting more towards this being an underground story, like an underground crime story, like they were going to make the live-action show be at one point, when Ray Park was supposed to completely return for that new show they were going to make. But it also seems to me like they're doing a little bit of that same old shit that we've gotten over and over and over again, and I'm so burnt out with it. And this was a problem in Legends back in the day, too. Even though you had, like, 1 billion Jedi, and, like, 7/8 of them got killed, you have story after story after story of a Jedi being undercover or hidden somewhere after the execution of Order 66. And in this trailer, you have somebody who's wearing like a cloak, clearly supposed to be disguised and not out in the open. I'm assuming this is post Order 66 because they're stormtroopers and stuff, like I said. But this person breaks out a blue lightsaber. It's like a pink, chick, a Twi'lek, I think is what her race is. Maybe there's one that's similar to Twi'leks that's not pink. I don't know. But she breaks out a lightsaber and she's defending some, I'm assuming, innocent civilians. Maybe some friends that aren't Jedi, I don't know. But I don't want this to become another, oh, well, we have basically Darth Vader with Darth Maul here, of him hunting people who are secret Jedi hiding. I don't want that. It needs to be more personal this time. I don't know what you could do to make this Jedi a little bit different in the sense of not wanting to just do the same story of a Jedi on the run and hiding. And for some reason carrying their lightsaber regardless, just like Cal from those newer games. What is it? Fallen Order, We need to have this storyline be more personal to Maul somehow, some way. And I don't know how you could do that. We don't really have a whole lot of motive so far here, but I'm cool with that because it comes out in like 3 months. I didn't even know this was in production anymore. I didn't know it was getting made officially. I didn't know it became an animated series and stuff. Did anybody know this was coming out before the trailer showed up the other day? I don't know. But I'm excited for it, I gotta be honest. It looks really fun. I like that we're gonna have, kind of like Clone Wars did, the dismemberment and stuff. That I know that sounds horrifying to say that, but I think that makes more stakes to Star Wars. I think it brings more stakes to the plate, where there could be a lot more danger for characters you care about, whether it be Maul, whether it be somebody else, like a Jedi or whoever you care about. I think this is going to be cool. I think it'll actually be a solid show. And Disney has not completely missed the ball for me when it comes to home runs, because you have things like Tales of the Jedi that I still stand by. I think it's a good show. And some of the comics were good there for a while. And then they kind of crashed and burned. But point is, I really hope this is as good as it looks. And I think it will be. It seems like Filoni is really involved as the creator of this show. And Maul in general, I can't get enough of. I love Darth Maul stuff, like I said. I need to spend more time in the books, But I'm really excited for this. I would love to hear what you all have to say about it, especially if you're a big Darth Maul person out there. But do you think it's going to fall in that trap of being repetitive, of Jedi on the run, Darth Maul hunting them down, maybe a little bit of crime story thrown in there? I really hope it doesn't become that. I think Filoni is enough of a fan that he would not allow it to be that way, especially after the Fallen Order games being so big. I don't want this to be too similar to that. So anyway, I'm excited. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about it down below. Would you have preferred this to be made in live action? I think I kind of would. I think normies would be more okay with it. But I'm okay with it being a cartoon in Clone Wars style. I am. I really enjoy Clone Wars. Rebels has its moments, not most of the time, but sometimes it does. And this seems like it's going to be really edgelordy, and that's what I want, especially for a Sith-focused show. But I really hope they don't put that on the back burner. Dude, if they do, it'll be the ultimate detriment of this show to me, where it'll just make me stop watching it. But I may try to cover this like as soon as the show wraps up. So tune in for that. God willing, I may try to do that. If you like the Star Wars themed videos. Anyway, thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Put your thoughts and comments down below about the show. What other kind of cartoons or live action series do you think would be cool if they made? I'd love to hear all that down below too. Thank you all for watching, guys. God bless you all. Catch you later, and goodbye.